A lot of people
Previously
say
on The Silver Lining.
not very likely.
We defied fate with the vain requests of human desires. Too late, we realized that the answers to what we sought had been in our own hearts all along, and we were punished. Punished with an endless war that had just begun.
Do you know anyone who might know what this magic is?
The Oracle of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. Her knowledge is greater than the ocean, but very few people are ever allowed to see her.
Well, turns out it's not.
Identity I cannot see, for he is shrouded in darkness. I can only say that your fate has bound you to this evil man. He is greater than any foe you have yet faced. Seek he who rules the Isle of
Is
the
it
Mists.
Evil Graham?
He shall be waiting.
Your children are under a dark spell. The only way to revert such a spell is by reaching their minds. There is an ancient druid spell that will grant you entrance into their dreams. If you bring the ingredients of the spell to me, I can create it for you.
I have to bring it to him.
The Archdruid has sent for you! He said this is not a natural storm!
They said that only after 1,000 years would a last chance be granted. One final choice would be made that would fill the fields with light or darken them with shadows. The 1,000 years have passed. The time of choosing is now.
Secretly, it's like a crossover between, like, King's Quest and, like, Final Fantasy or something. Where are we? You look at the tree. This tree doesn't look... Well, it looks weird. I mean, it doesn't have any leaves, so that's not healthy, right? Is this where they tried to kill Alexander? Well, one thing I can say...
At times is overwhelming.
Good day, Archdruid.
They have been here since before our time, and will remain ever after.
I wish I, too, could be enlightened by their wisdom.
Much of what they would teach you, you may already know.
Yet I don't have all the answers, especially the ones I'm seeking.
And what is it that you seek?
I haven't managed to find a way to stop evil from reaching my family.
You surely understand we cannot live in a world without evil. All things must exist in a perfect balance.
Such perfection makes some innocents suffer.
It does us no good to question Mother Nature and her actions. We cannot change those. We can only accept them. Had you not faced the evils you have, you may feel differently. You're a good and strong king because you have seen the face of evil.
There are simpler paths to becoming a good king.
The simpler paths may look that way in the beginning, but the path you have chosen has left you better prepared for what you now face. You should not have any regret for your choices.
We have replayed all the King's Quest games before we played this one. I feel like that guy was just a jerk to us in King's Quest 6. He tried to burn us, didn't he? That's it. We came to the island, burn! And that was it.
I will be back soon.
Keep your senses alert. This weather was not caused by Mother Nature.
I will. Goodbye for now.
Where am I going? What if I need ingredients there? I feel like I should start the timer now. Yeah, I'm starting the timer now. I don't care. Episode 2, 2 households.
The Archdruid told me that the scroll is enchanted with the wisdom of Mother Nature and will guide me through my journey. I should heed its directions.
That's a lot of
The scroll is
stuff.
enchanted to let me know what ingredients are currently available. It looks like only these 3 are available right now.
I have obtained an ingredient. It will be crossed off the list.
The magic of the scroll will direct me to the islands on the map where I can find the currently displayed ingredients. I'll keep it in my pocket until I need it again.
Lethal liquid.
Finally, the Archdruid told me that the scroll has the ability to point me towards people or events that will also aid me on my quest. Speaking of which, isn't that Shamir the genie?
Okay. Oh look, these are closed off. Okay, interesting. Well, I guess we'll go back to the Isle of the Crown and talk to Shamir the Genie. That seems like pretty obvious there. Also, we only have 2 days. Hey, look, this guy fishing. Let's talk to Fishy Guy.
Hello there, lad. Have you had any luck catching fish today?
Nah, fish have all gone into hiding because of that storm last night. Mom was really scared. I've been trying to catch something for lunch, but there's no bites. I'm getting hungry.
I don't think I have anything for you to eat. So, you're out of luck. Hey, it's not raining anymore. That's nice. Right? And this island is nice and green. Hey, is there something over here? I can walk through rocks though. Well, Graham has walking through rock powers. If I save, I assume if I save it'll be a new set of saves. Oh no, I was wrong. Back. Castle. Same. What's so my inventory contains. Let's see if these are open now. They are. Well, you know. That. Bookstore's open. Hey, this looks very familiar. Only in 3D.
Nice bookshop you have here.
King Graham, what brings you to my humble corner of the isle?
Books.
For a small village, your bookshop is amazingly well stocked. You have quite a collection of literature here.
Thank you, good sir. I take pride in offering fine books on many subjects to my customers. I am glad King Alexander was encouraging his subjects to read more. You may look at any book you like, King Graham. Perhaps the information may help you. Do you enjoy reading?
I do, but my knowledge comes from life experiences.
I see. There are some of us that stay and live in dreams, and others that make those dreams come true.
One man's dream is another man's gold.
Very true indeed.
You must know my son well by now, good man.
Why do you say so?
If there's one thing that can be said about him, it's that he loves reading.
Indeed. King Alexander spends hours here. He comes with Jalo from time to time, and they just sit and read. It's the kind of silence I enjoy.
A little company's never bad.
With so few people interested in reading, it does get lonely from time to time. I've learned to live with it by now, but your son's company is pleasant.
Tell me, good man, what interested him most?
Let me see. He often reads on the subject of magic. He was very interested in the occult.
I had hoped his interest in that would have waned by now.
He did live under that wizard's dominion for most of his life.
But you'd think he'd hate it.
He might be after a way to master it and make himself safe from what kept him a slave. He was also interested in history. He's read everything he can about the Green Isles, as well as other places.
I gave him that advice. You can never know enough about the place you govern.
And sometimes he would just pick up a poetry book and read it. Here's a secret. Sometimes he would copy one and take it to Cosima.
How romantic as well. Very nice.
He's a good man.
I know. He's very much like his mother.
What?
Let me do some research in your books.
Be my guest.
Hey, I got points.
Graham takes the book and reads through it. He finds an interesting story.
Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a prince who was forever searching for a bride. His parents were frustrated in the attempt to find a maiden who met his expectations. No matter how many beautiful princesses he was introduced to, he found some fault in all of them. None of these girls were true princesses. He told his father, the king, "I can only marry a woman who is a princess in every sense of the word." One dark, cold, stormy night, a stranger knocked on the castle gates. A girl stood in the rain, drenched and ragged. "I am a princess," he told the guards. "Please let me in for the night." The king took the girl into the castle. The queen decided to find out whether she really was a princess. The girl was given a warm bath, a hot meal, and fresh clothes. The queen prepared a special bed for her. She took several mattresses and laid a dried pea upon one of them. She then placed 22 mattresses on the bed frame over the pea. 22 mattresses? Along with several quilts. The princess had to climb a ladder to get onto the bed. The next morning, the king and queen greeted the princess at breakfast. "How did you sleep last night, my dear?" The king asked. "I don't mean to be grateful, but I slept very poorly last night. I was tossing and turning. I felt like I was sleeping on rocks," she answered. "What?" exclaimed the king. You had the most comfortable bed in the castle." "She is a real princess," explained the queen. "I put a pea under the mattress last night. Only a real princess would have such sensitive skin to be able to feel a pea under 22 mattresses." The prince was overjoyed that he had found a real princess at last. He married her, and they lived happily ever after. Okay. Put pea under mattress. Let's write that down. P-E-A, not P-E. We won't want to pee on the mattress. That would be gross. It looks like there's a book over here too. Pea trains.
Graham takes the book and reads through it. He finds an interesting story.
Oh man, I have to keep the story of Samson and Delilah. A long time ago, in a holy land, a woman and her husband were visited by an angel of light. The angel told them that they would have a son who would grow up to be a mighty warrior. He also said his boy could never cut his hair, for his strength would lie there. In time, the angel's word came true. They named their son Samson, and he was stronger than any man the tribe had ever known. Samson fought against the evil pirates, the barbaric people who had invaded the homeland and sought to enslave his people. The pirates were frustrated by the daring warrior, for no one could find a way to defeat him. Finally, they discovered Samson's one weakness: women. Samson had met a woman named Delilah, and he fell in love with her. The pirates' leaders offered Delilah silver in exchange for Samson's capture. She tricked her lover into revealing the secrets of his strength. After many foolish games, Samson finally revealed to her that his strength lay in his hair. Consequently, when he fell asleep, Delilah used a pair of scissors enchanted with the power of earth and fire to cut off his hair. Seems awoke to find himself a prisoner of the pirates. He was taken to one of the many towns they had ravaged, where great celebration took place to rejoice their enemy's capture. Chained between two pillars in an old temple they had previously raided, he prayed desperately to the angels to restore his strength one last time. His wish was granted, and with his mighty strength, he pulled down the pillars. The temple roof came crashing down on the celebrants, destroying both himself and the pirates. Okay. I don't know how that's relevant. But, I mean, we know it now, right? Looks like there's one over here. Oh, those points. Holy cow, we got so many
Graham
points.
chooses a book called The Power of Nightshade.
Power of Nightshade. Hey, we saw a Nightshade. When the world was new and the gods were young, the Lord of the Dead found himself desiring it sounds just like that. Found himself desiring a wife. It was lonely and dark in the underworld, and he watched the world above through the soil. He saw Persephone, the daughter of the goddess of spring. He fell in love with the fair, flowery beauty and decided to have her for his wife. He devised a plan to capture her, taking the essence of night and some essence from the spirit of the dead maidens. He created a flower, the deadly nightshade. It was beautiful to behold, but could bewitch the mind and lead to death if taken in a high dose. To make it less deadly and even more tempting for his intended, he infused it with the power of the elements of life, air and water, so it would not kill her, but only take her breath away. Ooh. The Lord of the Dead had it planted in the world of the living, not far from his own domain. When Persephone was out gathering plants, she saw the nightshade. She could not resist this lovely flower, and she had never seen before. She plucked the bloom and breathed in its scent. The flower stole her immortal breath, leaving her vulnerable to death. In that moment, the minions of the underworld burst forth from the ground and seized Persephone, dragging her down to the underworld. Persephone's mother, beset with grief over the loss, came to the underworld to retrieve her. Eventually, she and the Lord of the Dead reached an agreement that for 6 months of each year, Persephone would be his queen, and during the other 6 months, she would return to the world of the living. Now, every 6 months, life returns to the world in spring and summer, when Persephone is with her mother, but the nightshade flower still grows only when Persephone is with its lord, her husband. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Anything on this shelf? Jeez, there's a lot of stuff to read. Holy cow.
Graham takes the book, Folklore of the Sea, and reads through it.
It is known to many seagoing folk, fishermen, sailors, and ship captains. Was that the backpacker point sound? That the sea is alive with many intelligent creatures. Besides the mermaids and mermen, there are sea nymphs and daughters of ancient sea gods. It might be Book of Unwritten Tales. I don't remember. The sea nymphs take the form of beautiful young maidens, and they are very playful. Sometimes a mischievous sea nymph, given to a wicked inclinations, will cause the wreck of a boat on the rocks and with their singing. Other sea nymphs are good and will help sailors in need. They are fond of pretty objects and shiny things, especially jewelry. Okay, jewelry for sea nymphs. Let's write this down. That is why many sailors carry at least one piece of gold with them at all times, to give it to a nymph who may save their lives. Okay. Can I go back there? I wonder if I can go back there. What about this shelf?
None of the books in that pile catch Graham's...
Okay. Talk to him.
Good book?
I don't know. I can't read.
Well, what are you doing then?
Trying to look smart.
Don't listen to him, Your Majesty. He can read.
Ooh, gullible.
What's the book about?
It has taught me the great properties of how to properly lend a proper hand.
Say again?
I've learned a lot. May I practice with you? Do you need a hand? Ah!
By the... Your hand! Oh, I see. You're lending me a hand. All right.
You can keep that one. I have many others.
Hey, I got points.
Have you any idea what this mysterious illness the twins are suffering from could be?
My guess would be chronic boredom.
Boredom? Jalo, they're comatose.
Boredom is a very serious illness, King Graham. If I'd spent the last 20 years of my life in Daventry, I'd be comatose too. Laughter, as they say, is the best medicine, and those two need a hearty helping of it.
If it were as easy as that.
Unfortunately, I'm just a clown, King Graham, not a miracle worker.
Weird
Goodbye,
fingers.
my friend.
No! Please don't go!
What's wrong?
Please don't abandon me!
Jolo, quit it.
Well, bye, Your Majesty.
Let's see if I can go back here. Alright, well, I think I got an arm. I do. I have an arm. A fake arm. Cannot go back here. Okay, so I guess I've read all the books I can read, and there's nothing on the free table. I don't think I
None
can
of the
read books
books
over
in
here.
that pile catch Graham's attention. As much as Graham usually enjoys the leisure of sitting down and reading a book, now is not the time. Besides, he would probably go with the Daventrian style of reading, on a chair or a table with a His old bones wouldn't take kindly to the idea of sitting here for too long.
Alright, let's go to the pawn shop. What do you think's there? Maybe we can get a magic map. Then we don't have to use the stupid boat anymore. I think it's just closed.
No one answers.
Oh, it's
The
still
owner
closed.
must be out. I'll check back later.
What about the marketplace? Is the marketplace open? There's a place that sold maps, remember? Wait, how do I get there? What's this way? I think this way. Oh, what's this place? Where is this? Where am I? The heck?
There are some outfits on display that even Graham wouldn't feel uncomfortable in.
On the other hand, I like my outfit.
We know that, Graham. Wherever Graham looks, there is so much activity. It's heartening to see the townsfolk getting back into their daily routines in spite of everything.
Here's the restaurant. You know, this reminds me a little bit of Quest for Glory 5.
This object is not responding.
It's
There
a
is no
person.
reply.
It's a person,
Wherever
not an
the-
object. Jeez. That's rude.
What would you do with it?
I'd open it because it's the door.
Oh my. A luscious morsel all made.
That's what you get for fooling around with other women, Graham.
Alright, I didn't expect that. Nice random Sierra death there.
A spider's web decorates most of the left section of the counter. It appears to be occupied. A large black spider is clinging to the web. For some reason, Graham is certain it's a she. And the way she's moving her leg. Is she giving him the come hither?
Ah, hello, Miss Widow, is it?
Call me Blackie, sugar pie. How may I help you? There is very little that I can't do for you.
Well, first off, don't
I'm sorry
kill
to
me.
disappoint you, ma'am, but I know about your reputation. My son Warren, told me about you. But besides that, I'm married and have been for more than 20 years.
Oh, curses! I mean, that doesn't mean we can't have a cozy little conversation, does it? I don't see your wife anywhere around here. Besides, 20 years of being chained to your spouse deserves some kind of reward, doesn't it?
Sorry, I'm quite content with Valanice.
Well, let me know if you have a change of heart, all right? I'll be waiting.
Okay. News?
Any good news today?
Well, good news just walked in the door in the form of you, stranger. But otherwise, nothing particularly cheerful, I'm afraid. That luscious Alexander and that succulent, pretty little sister of his, are still asleep, so the newsbirds say, and things seem to be doing badly.
I know that.
But things may be looking up for me, at least, since you've shown up.
I don't want to get tangled up in any of your schemes, Miss Widow.
Blackie, sugar pie. Blackie.
Okay, we got more stuff. Tragedy.
Have you heard any news about what caused yesterday's calamity?
Indeed. The stranger has been seen in various places, always wearing that sexy black cloak of his.
Do you know what he's been doing?
The man has a fixation with a certain artifact. Pandora's box.
Do you know where this man can be found?
My. Aren't we full of questions?
Yes.
Maybe you and I could go around in a lovely walk, and I could devour and relate you the story of the mysterious man.
Thank you for the kindness, but I'm in a hurry.
The most interesting meals. Men, are always rushing everything. But no, my dear. Nobody knows about the strange man's whereabouts. My sisters are working hard at it, but it just seems he totally vanishes after making his appearance. Quite a hard fish to eat. Catch?
News?
Aside from the wedding events, is there anything else?
There have been reports of strange occurrences not only from local reporters, but birds from other nearby lands, Serenia mostly, and some from very far away. Daventry, even.
What sorts of reports?
Oh, you are a clever rhyme master. But, since you asked, in some of the forests of Serenia, the locals have observed that some of the trees that have lost their leaves are starting to regain them, and the leaves are beginning to phase from brown to green.
Goodness.
And here, there have been many more strange occurrences, even here, among the members of the newsletter staff. Some notes that the scribes write start to fade if they are left alone for very long. It's getting harder and harder to get anything done around here.
Strange.
Those strange events?
Have you had any reports on the cause of these strange occurrences?
It's all a mystery. Maybe you could decipher it with my help. If you'd only let me whisper it in your ear, of course.
Don't make me wait for tomorrow's edition of the newspaper.
These victims, men, of today have lost their sense of humor.
Got it.
Maybe because you've eaten them all. Overwhelmed them all,
Very funny, sugar pie. No. Nobody knows the cause of these events. Some diced people, wise people, from the city of Estrados, have gathered in secret meetings, but we still need to hear a verdict.
The city of Estrados?
You need to get out there, sweetmeat. Sweetheart. I'm talking about the great city of time, Estrados.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Oh, my.
This is not New Orleans, and you are not a certain womanizer failure as a writer loser to the shadow hunter kind of werewolf graces gone bad hair act broke dude now owns a castle Mr. Knight, Graham. Which reminds me, where is Gabriel Knight 4?
I'd better be leaving.
All right. But promise me you'll be back. Tall, handsome, and tasty.
Maybe.
No. I don't really want to come back. That was weird. That was weird. Oh, man. Grand opening of Chessboard Land canceled mid-ceremony. I don't really want to read all this. Ceremony, at first all seem... Do we need, maybe we need, but we might need this for the game, you know? But it might just be, like, unnecessary lore. Red and white ribbons stretch from the post marble to signify what the age-old rivalry of the two queens Brutus ugly had only moments in. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here together too. No, that's not how weddings are supposed to start. It's not the right speech. As I was saying before, being so rudely interrupted today is a day of great celebration in the land of wonder, indeed, for all the islands. Today is the grand opening of Chessboard Land. From this day forward, all will be welcome in our red and white corner of the kingdom. White Queen spoke and began. You've had your moment in the spotlight, now it's my turn to make a speech, sister. And stop being red first. You know perfectly well that they will marvel at the beauty of the color white before they notice the garnet, garish red you keep insisting to put everywhere. A brief argument broke out between the queens, but their knights quickly calmed them both down before it got worse. The White Queen at last took over her turn to give her speech. Loyal subjects to the land of the Green Isles. Today, you will finally be able to witness the extraordinary beauty of the Chessboard Land firsthand. For a long time, we were reluctant to allow humans to enter Chessboard Land, permitting only chess pieces in our homeland. But King Alexander and Queen Sima have persuaded us to start sharing us in the spirit of the kingdom, so we have opened the doors to the public. As Captain's Ribbon, Chessboard Land becomes open to the public. However, just as the White Queen was about to cut the ribbon, the Red Queen jumped up in protest. I am as much queen of this island as you are, and I demand I be the one to cut the ribbon. Okay. How typical. Okay, I'm not gonna read all this. I don't think this is. I think this is just a story. I don't think it's relevant. No, this might be relevant though. I don't know. I don't think so. These are signs of the zodiac. When's Graham's birthday? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this matters. Malt Merlin. Is that what it says? Or Malt Melon? All new musical stage adaptation coming soon to the Isle of the Crown. Okay. Okay, well. I don't see that as being too relevant.
Ah, tell me, merchant.
Huh? What was that? Oh, do you wish to trade me an old lamp for a fine new one?
No, sorry, I was just wondering. Your trade relies on the hope of you someday finding a genie or something in one of those lamps, right?
Why, yes, you are a well-traveled man, sir.
Thank you. And have you ever actually found a genie in one of these old lamps you've received?
Well, no.
And how long have you been in this trade?
Quite a while last time I looked.
And you have no intentions of retiring in the near future?
What? Retire and miss out on the fortune of a lifetime? Never.
I must say you are determined. Good luck, I suppose.
I'll talk to Map Guy.
How do you do today, sir?
Oh, just fine. These eyes have seen many a day darker than yesterday. But still, I could be better.
What sort of maps do you carry?
I have maps of the individual islands, as well as a few rarer ones of supposed phantom islands. Those are more like collector items than navigational tools. And maps of the entire archipelago, as well as a few of the coastlines south of here. Not many people have made it there and back again. I'm sure you've heard of our infamous reefs and currents.
I'm sure my son knows a lot more than me.
Why are you asking? Are you planning on going anywhere?
Maybe.
Are you
Maybe.
Candy? I want some candy.
What kind of candies are you selling there, merchant?
Well, I've got sugared dates, crystallized ginger, saltwater taffy, honey drops. You know, the usual. Oh, you're not from around here, are you, sir?
No, but hearing what you're selling sure makes me wish I was.
Well, let me know if you want to buy anything. Let me know if you want to buy...
I just used money. I still have money.
How much will this coin buy me, peddler?
Oh, this isn't gold, is it?
Yes, it's gold. Why, is there something wrong with it?
No, nothing at all. It's just... I never thought I'd be holding this much money in my hands at one time.
Oh, think nothing of it. How much will one gold coin buy me, though?
Probably all the saltwater taffy the water around these islands can yield. But that is, of course, much more than what I have in stock. The second largest amount I can give you might put me out of business.
I doubt that, merchant. How about one of everything you have? Will that do?
Oh, yes, I can give you that, sir. But I don't know if I have change for such a large sum.
It's all right, friend. Keep it. You'd make better use of it than I could.
Oh, bless you, sir. One moment, please.
Makes me think I'm getting, like...
Here you are, sir. Good day, and thank you again.
I think we have to revisit that ferry, the cost of the ferry.
Maps? Essential maps of the Green Isles and beyond?
Alright, let's
Ideal for...
Graham doesn't need those wares. Graham doesn't need...
So he doesn't really take money either. He takes lamps. Okay,
Is your loved one feeling down? Then buy her one of our candy clubs.
Well, I got some candy. I know, right?
These certainly look very tasty, but Graham's never craved sweets very much. Graham could imagine many ways that the tools could come in handy. Graham doesn't need a room to stay. He has... Graham could...
Nothing else over here, huh? No, not really. I guess I can only talk to the spider. I guess we'll go to the castle now. Wait, I saw something back here. Something back there, but it's just decoration. Look at how nice it looks now. See if I can talk to the bird.
King Graham has not been admitted into the TSL Asylum yet. For more information about the TSL Asylum, please go to www.tsl-game.com and head to the forums section. Oh, and if you want to hear more about the wonderful narrator, go to www. Yes, I know, shameless.
I skipped it. A skip yourself promotion. Maybe King Graham's too old to climb over a tree. Hey, now there's two people. Now there's two dogs. Different dogs.
Greetings. Greetings, Your Majesty.
I'll talk to him
Greetings.
too.
Bonjour, Votre Majesté.
Hey. Oh, I gotta open it. How do you know I'm not Your Majesty in disguise, huh? Remember, like, the genie could disguise himself? I said, those things.
King Graham.
Shamir?
Oh.
I'm glad you're here. I've been hoping to speak with you privately. It's about the stranger.
My own personal genie.
Do you have any information about the stranger?
As a matter of fact, I do. A while ago, Alexander learned that Alhazred was communicating with a group of people. I heard the name Black Cloak Society mentioned often by him when he was my master.
Who were these people?
There were at least 6 or 7. Alexander mentioned your family had crossed paths with them at some point or another.
Why didn't you mention this last night?
I didn't want to alarm anybody. I wanted to make sure that my information was accurate.
Black Cloak Society. Do you think it's related to the Cloaked Man?
I'm positive. I looked again at some of the letters Alexander once found in Alhazred's room, and they confirm it. Here, look at these. The first is dated from a few years ago, but the second one arrived in Alhazred's magical letterbox just after he was captured. Alexander had hoped to use it to learn more, but the magical letterbox stopped working shortly after that.
To the brothers and sisters of the Black Cloak Society. I am sure you all have questions about this
mysterious voice speaking to you in dreams, as I once had. Fear it not, friends. It is the voice of our mighty leader, who is now preparing to walk among us once more. The time is drawing near. The prison that holds him is weakening, and it is now that we must join our forces and tip fate in our favor for the triumphant return of the Black Cloak Society to its former glory. We must not lower our guard, however. All signs seem to point to the return of the Silver Cloaks as well, but years ago we made every effort and sacrifice required of us to set in motion events that will lead to our victory. Even now, I have in my grasp one of the prophesied children. But we do not yet have everything we need. Now more than ever we must find the location of the box. Sister Lalotte is sparing no efforts to find its rumored location in Tamir. To the return of the Black Cloak Society, may you all be in shadows.
Manannan.
I know that guy. He's the one bad dude.
Brother Alhazred, I received your letter that Prince Alexander of Daventry
has journeyed to your little island kingdom, and I write to you in haste. Though he may be a threat to your plans, you must not kill the boy. He is essential to our master's plan and the return to glory of the Black Cloak Society. Be wary. He is an intelligent young man and versed in magic. He is the same slave Gwydion who escaped Manannan years ago by turning one of his own spells upon him. To underestimate him would be foolish, and you must exercise caution and restraint in this situation, Alhazred. Reply in acknowledgement as soon as you can.
May you be in shadows, Agatha.
Agatha. Letters.
This is grave news, Agatha. That's the vile witch who kidnapped Valanice and locked her in a tower in Colima.
Okay.
We never knew what happened to her. And Manannan, that's the blackguard who stole Alexander when he was just an infant. He's the reason why Valanice and I spent so many sleepless nights worrying about our son.
Do you think he was the one at the wedding?
I don't see how he could be. The last I knew of him, he was stuck in the form of a cat as the result of a spell Alexander had cast on him. Do you know who this leader he speaks of might be?
I don't, but Alexander has been investigating this for some time. There is one name I can't recall, and I've been looking for this letter all over the place. It was received by Alhazred during the time I was under his command. I will look through Alexander's notes and see what I can make of it, Your Highness. Perhaps the answers are in front of us yet.
Thank you. And Shamir?
Yes?
Do not mention any of this to anyone, especially not to my wife. This letter from Hagatha would only upset her, as would the one from Manannan. Until we know more, I don't wish to burden her or the rest of my family further.
My lips are sealed, sire.
Info.
So, what is this Black Cloak Society?
1,000 years ago, there existed a dark cult of the worst and most evil wizards in the world. A despicable force that grew stronger with each passing year. At first, they only caused minor problems, but they steadily became a stronger force and a menace to all the known lands.
And they still exist to this day? I believe Alexander mentioned them once or twice now that I think of it, but he never told me much about it.
What's more interesting is how they formed and where they drew their name from. You saw how in the letter he mentions the Silver Cloaks? They were another society that was even more secretive. There is almost no mention of them at all in any of the records I've been able to find. I didn't make the connection until I came across an ancient tome in a library far from here. The Silver Cloak Society was formed by some of the wisest and most noble wizards, the perfect antithesis to the Black Cloaks.
So the Silver Cloak Society was good wizards.
But who exactly were these Silver Cloaks?
I'm not completely sure, but I do know they were masters of a lost form of magic that controls dreams.
Like the spell the Archdruid told me about.
Not exactly. The Silver Cloaks could not only control dreams, but they could shape them into whatever they wished. They could drag people into the dream world and even make dreams appear around us in the waking world. The tome implied the most powerful of them could even form reality from dreams themselves.
Making dreams come true? And real? Is that even possible?
I've heard of myths and legends that speak of magic that deals with dreams, but even to us genies, it's a mystery. And we've been around for more years than you can count. The spell you carry now is one I've never seen before. With almost no records of the Silver Cloaks existing at all, it's clear they were very secretive, but also that they were a force of good.
So they were essentially two societies at war.
It runs deeper than that. But yes, there was a war between them.
The war.
What happened at the end of the war?
In due time, sire. First go back to the beginning. There was a society of dark wizards that wanted nothing more than power. It turned some of them into dark beasts, inhuman walking shadows. With this power, they ravaged the lands, killed innocents, brought suffering everywhere they went. That was the beginning of the war, and by all accounts, it was truly devastating. But the Silver Cloaks were wise, and they crafted a weapon that trapped the shadows and sealed them away forever.
And so they defeated them?
I'm not sure. That's where the trail runs cold. There are no records of the war, the Silver Cloaks, or the Black Cloaks after that. It's as if they all just vanished. Something must have happened, but I don't know what. I'm not sure anyone does.
This is an interesting story, but it doesn't explain why that stranger or this Black Cloak Society would want to curse my children.
It has everything to do with them, sire. The artifact the Silver Cloaks used to defeat the Dark Wizard the first time around was called Pandora's Box.
Pandora's Box? Rosella found it in Tamir. The box mentioned in the letter. It is the one and the same.
Exactly. They must be seeking Pandora's Box once again.
But why?
You don't want to open that box in the game or you die, I think.
What exactly did this artifact do?
I'm not sure exactly how it worked, but somehow they did use it to trap the shadows inside. And there are no records that say what happened to it after it was used.
Yet somehow it ended up in Tamir, and Rosella found it there. Lalot needed her help to do so. But Rosella stopped her before she could give it to the others, and then locked the box up again. If what you say is true, then this box, it can never be opened again. I shudder to think what the consequences of such an action would be.
You must stop this man from finding it.
First I must save my children, then I'll deal with that.
I get the feeling that in order to accomplish the first, you may find you'll have to do the latter as well.
That may be the case. Thank you. And again, let's keep this between us until we know more. This is good information, but without anything more current, I don't know that we can use any of it.
Storm!
A very strange storm took over the Isles last night.
I know. We felt it here, too. It was unnatural. Something happened last night, something big, and I don't know what it was.
Let me know if you find the cause.
I shall, sire.
Goodbye. Alright.
I should get back to my quest.
Good luck, sire. I will continue researching.
Oh, he disappeared like a weirdo. That's what weirdo genies do. Alright, let's save. Oh, for Lord. Save. And then we'll pet Regulus, because we had Trolley Valley want me to pet the cat. Pet that cat. Pet that cat. Double pets. There you go, Ray. You got petted. Your bed's starting to get all hairy. Alright, now he wants more. Now he wants more. He's like, that's it? I want more. Alright, we need a magical bag, an animated vessel, and lethal liquid. Do you think we need, like, Black Widow venom? Spider venom? That's a liquid. What do we have in our... We have candy, we have a fake... Oh, a fake arm! We used the fake arm on the spider. And we get... Yeah. Okay. The heck? This was pointless, wasn't it? That was extremely pointless. Uh-oh. Oh, we gotta start the timer too. No! Stop it! Who's this?
Poor Edgar. The prince surely came here after everyone went to sleep and did nothing but stare at the altar, the gardens, the red carpet, trying to recover any of the happy moments before everything fell apart. Knowing the prince, Graham has no doubt Edgar has been blaming himself for letting that cloaked man steal Rosella out of his embrace. How long the prince tormented himself so before finally succumbing to exhaustion, Graham can only guess.
Talk to him. Oh, we got a new song.
Oh, Edgar, are you awake?
What? Who?
Who's what now?
Oh, it's you, King Graham. Did you make it back all right? Sun is up already. What time is it?
Mid-morning.
Well, no wonder. I stayed with Rosella until the storm passed. Then I came here.
Wandering in the memories of what could have been is only going to make things worse for you.
I can't help it.
Besides, it's not going to make it any easier if I'm somewhere else. Rosella is still under that spell, no matter where I am.
It's not where you physically are, but where your heart is that matters. You have to believe.
I'm trying.
Son, I know I already asked you this.
Let's just keep asking questions.
You didn't get to see this stranger's face?
I gazed at it, the little I could see under that hood. But my eyes were locked up in his eyes. Red, scary eyes. Just thinking of those eyes sends shivers down my spine.
Did he look human?
I was about to say that. No, not at all. But then again, I just couldn't tell. It was evil, that's all I know.
What do you think of the Green Isles?
It's different. Different from any land I've ever seen before.
They're green?
Different from Temir. Different from Eldritch. Different from Etheria. But I think I love it.
You're not alone there.
It's just that... what's happened here? Why? Why did this have to happen? Such a beautiful day. Ruined entirely.
I've been trying to answer that question myself, but I'm most certain that things always happen for a reason. What the reason is, we have yet to see.
I don't see any worthy reasons for this to happen.
Sometimes we can't see them. Not right away. There are acting forces greater than us, after all. The fates can be mysterious.
Couldn't this just be explained by pure evil?
Perhaps. But what seems evil at first often leads to something good, if we are determined enough to change it.
It's hard for me to see it that way. But you do have more experiences than I do.
Edgar, you met the same fate as my son. You were taken from your family when you were an infant and raised by someone who wasn't your mother. How did it feel?
Why don't you ask your son? It's not that I couldn't tell you, but...
Because Alexander, he doesn't talk much about it.
I don't know if I should say this, but it's funny that you mentioned that.
Why?
I don't know.
I won't let him know.
Well, I guess it wouldn't do any harm. A couple of days ago, it was late at night, and Rosella and Cassima were busy with the wedding dress and all that. So I walked to the beach, and Alexander was there, swimming in the sea. He didn't have his shirt on, and I saw these scars on his back.
Scars? Heavens. Did he notice you there?
He did. I didn't know what to say. It was very awkward for both of us. I was about to leave, but he asked me to stay. When I said it was funny you asked me that question, it was because he asked me the same. He then went on to ask me if I had recovered from my own kidnapping.
What was your answer?
Your Majesty, I didn't suffer as much as your son did. Lalotte did love me, in her own twisted way. She did protect me. I wasn't treated as a slave, but as her son.
Didn't you ever feel she wasn't your true mother?
It was hard to tell. I guess sometimes I did, but I got used to it. That was something Alexander told me he never did. He somehow knew he had a family out there. He could never bear the thought of never seeing them. You.
Maybe that's why he escaped while you stayed.
In my case, it was Rosella who made me see. Who gave me the strength to do something about it. But for Alex, it was another story.
Has Alexander talked to you more about it since that night?
No. I never expected him to say anything the first time either.
I don't feel like any of this is relevant to the story.
I must tell you, I had my doubts about you and Rosella.
Why?
Don't get me wrong, but Rosella is such an adventurous young lady, and you seem more moderate than she.
We always meet at a middle point. I must say, though, that most of the times I find myself dragged into her crazy ideas. Do you remember the celebrations following the restoration of the Mask of Eternity?
Yes, you weren't able to go because... it was you in that disguise, wasn't it?
I thought it was a little too crazy at the time. But that's Rosella.
We're talking about that
She
game.
formulated that whole plan of me going to the celebration in disguise so as not to attract attention to us. Or that's what she said. I just think she did it for the sake of excitement. It's not that I'm blaming her or something, and it seemed to work too. No one seemed to even glance at me. You don't know what a relief it was, not to be gawked at like some expensive painting, or to be asked questions about when Rosella and I were going to be married. It all seems a little silly to me now, but boy, she is so determined. She was always pulling me into these little plots of hers.
That sounds like a perilous life you're looking forward to.
Well, maybe I'm not looking to stick my head in a thorn bush. But I do want Rosella to be my wife.
Let me tell you something, my child.
Obviously.
Rosella is probably the bravest young woman I have ever seen. And I'm not telling you because she's my daughter. Why, most of the time, I wish she was just a regular girl.
Well, that's everything she's not.
She has her own way of loving. And if you got her to settle her head down and get married, she must love you incredibly.
I think she does.
I'm sure she does. What do the people of your homeland think of your marriage to Rosella?
Jeez.
There were a lot of different reactions when my father made the announcement. Some of the fairies laughed, some cheered, some shouted at me.
Why would they do that?
Well, you have to keep in mind that I'm not human. I'm a fairy that looks human, like my Aunt Militia. And a fairy marrying a human may seem ridiculous to some of the, well, higher citizens of Etheria.
It's not how everyone else feels about what you choose, but what your heart tells you, lad. That's all that matters.
It took me a while to realize that, but my love for Rosella made me see it that way. My family is possibly closer to humanity than most of these supernatural beings. We think that humans and fairies couldn't survive without each other. That seems like a perfectly good reason to marry Rosella to me. Besides, even before I knew who I really, was, I knew that I loved her.
That's how I've always felt about my Valanice. I loved her the moment I saw her. Keep your hopes up, Edgar, and soon you and Rosella will be together again, as it should be.
Thank you for saying that, Your Majesty. I can only hope that she will be well again soon.
That is weird. Think, Roy. I mean, they didn't retcon mixed fraternity. They didn't retcon it. I mean, there's not much to say about it, because I don't think any... I think King Graham and the whole royal family is not involved in really anything other than the end.
Did you mention any of this to Rosella?
No. I didn't want to weigh Rosella down with these stories. I don't think she's aware of this. She's very proud of him. She says she always knew he was alive, and she'd dream about meeting him, and over the years, she created this image of him in her mind.
I'm happy to know that they get along so well.
Rosella insists that he should talk more, and sometimes she wishes he would tell her more about his past. But her love for him is pure. She even told me once that one of the reasons she rejected me the first time we met in Tamir was because she couldn't bear the feeling that she was going to be separated so soon from her brother, after having just met him.
I know how true that is. After she came back from Tamir, they would spend all their time together, day and night. Rosella was eager to show Alexander every hidden corner of Daventry, even when Alexander would sometimes prefer to stay alone reading, or be in the company of his mother.
Rosella says he's very close to the Queen.
Yes. While Rosella and I are much alike, Alexander really enjoys the company of his mother, and to Valanice this is a treasure, especially after believing him dead for so many years.
Do you think this family... And excuse me for being so bold of calling you my family.
You are one of us, my child.
Do you think we'll ever find happiness?
There's a paradox to that. You couldn't know what happiness is if you don't live through the tougher times like this. They make you stronger, and they make you value those moments of happiness with all your heart.
That is one thing I've learned already. But sometimes it seems as though there are more tough times than good. And we've all had enough of those.
Later.
I'd better be off now.
Farewell, Your Highness.
That was pointless.
Tell me if there is anything at all I can do to help Rosella.
I will.
I think that was pointless. I think that was pointless.
It hurts Graham to look at that lone. He vows to save both her.
Yeah, we already went through that dialogue. That was. Animated vessel. Whoa, what's that?
Someone must have forgotten this water bottle here.
My water bottle now. Is this an animated vessel?
Ah, The wonders of technology. Whoever invented this spraying mechanism must have been a genius. The bottle is empty.
This has come in very handy. Not only is it showing me the ingredients I need for the spell to cure Alexander and Rosella, but also where to locate them.
A magical bag. An animated vessel. A lethal liquid.
Graham does not want to disturb the cook and his...
Yeah, I do want to disturb the cook. I so want to disturb the cook. I think I know what I do with the arm. Can I go in the basement?
Graham can think of...
No, can I
the
go in
place
here?
is...
No? Alright. I think I should leave, but I'm gonna go upstairs anyway.
The columns are very... The people...
It's locked, and I should let Valanice...
Graham knows that Cassima...
Ah! I'm running around like crazy!
Please respect...
I can't go back in there now.
Okay, I guess I can't go anywhere here. Alright. Wait, what's this?
There's no point.
There's no point in going in that room.
There's no point.
What's this? Jewels! I got some jewels just hanging around in the thing.
Cassima once told me this necklace was a gift from her grandmother when she was a child. She said she kept it with her to remember how her grandmother always told her everything would be all right when she was sad or upset.
Why is it here, huh? Well, I got some jewelry. Jewelry for the sea nymphs, maybe? Alright, let's leave. This game has been there's been a significant lack of jank in this game. I don't know if you noticed. Utter and complete lack of jank so far. Other than some of the animation is a little bit janky. I mean, it's just...
I don't feel right.
Oh, they were talking. They had some idle conversation, and I missed it. Man. Okay, I think I know what to do with the arm. I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna go to the spider and have the spider bite the fake arm. Can you hear it? I mean, I can go back. I'll go back after I do this. If it doesn't count, if I don't restart the game, I gotta start from all over. Oops.
Oh my, a luscious morsel all for me. Hey, this is a fake arm. What are you trying to pull here, mister?
I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Oh yeah. I knew it. I knew it. Let's go see if we can. Let's go see if we can spy on some conversation now. I know it doesn't count, but we're gonna do it anyway. They'll probably say the same exact thing.
I feel awful. What with someone getting into the wedding, and what they did to the king and his sister.
On ne peut pas faire grand-chose contre la magie noire. Personne ne l'a vu venir. Il était juste là. Ne blâme pas pour ça, c'est juste un job.
I know, but... if I had just 1 minute with that creep, I'd tell you he'd be sorry then.
Oui, désolé qu'il ne t'ait pas endormi à cause de ton jappement. Maintenant, ferme ta boîte. Travaille.
Okay. I think that was worth watching. What do you think? Worth it? Was it worth it? Was it worth the investment of 2 minutes of your life for that? Alright, we got this. Yes. Good. Let's try the pawn shop again.
No one answers.
Nope.
The owner must be out.
Ready to sail?
Yep.